Welcome to SoulWhat, a Soultopia production. Every Tuesday, Michelle and Roger Welch take a deep dive into the intriguing and proactive world of metaphysics, a world beyond our human perception. They'll talk to empaths, readers, and other guests from all walks of life to find out what's hiding under the surface, uncover the mysteries of our modern world, and reveal the answers you need to live a happy, healthier life. Now, here's your hosts, Michelle and Roger Welch.
Hello, how are you doing tonight? Welcome to SoulWhat. You're tired?
I'm
Why?
tired because didn't sleep and then I was up doing stuff all day today. Busy day.
Yeah.
All right, so wait, before we get started, check it out. All right, wait, Matt, we got gifts for you.
First of all, welcome to
all
SoulWhat,
right.
you guys. Oh yeah,
I'm excited.
I'm
All right,
excited. So
First one for Matt.
First-
Here's, catch
first-
Matt.
Yeah. Oh, hold on.
we came bearing gifts.
Bearing gifts for Matt.
Oh, so this is the patch thing, right?
Yeah. So you got to open it and see which one because they're mystery patches.
Okay. All right. Let's see here. Also, I feel like my mic is quiet. There we go. That's better. All right. Let's open this up here.
Probably gonna be a good one.
What are the good ones?
There's a ghost that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
A couple of things like that. There's a white ghost, black ghost, and I forget. There's a little code sheet in it that tells what
Okay.
the codes
Value
are.
of your
Yeah.
Pokemon.
There's
card.
people selling those for like $50 to $100 online.
So there's
yeah, see?
the possibilities right there.
Yeah, the Reaper's cool.
All right. Let's see what we have here. Oh, we'll check it out.
Oh, damn it!
Look at that.
Yeah, that's what's
Is
it
that a
say?
high
That's a
value?
That's a 1 in 25. That's
Yeah,
one of the
that's
rare
a high
ones.
value one right there.
Yeah.
That's a high value one.
The
That's
only
good.
the only one more rare, it looks like it's like a SWAT alien or something like that.
Yeah. So
That's cool.
yeah. So that's a
Yeah.
super cool.
Oh,
one
that's
right
awesome. I like that one.
There. Yeah.
So
super
where is
cool.
this? Like where are you?
Oh, 511. Yeah, 511. They
wait,
do
like Five Below?
no, it's called 511, not Five Below.
I don't know what that is.
So they sell clothing, and it's like some of it's military style gear, like shirts and pants. But like
that's
Lizzie,
right.
I went with Lizzie because she had to go
Right
get
here.
her.
5.11.
Yeah,
Are those
Oh,
around
okay.
here?
yeah. There's one in Frisco.
Oh, okay.
There's one in Frisco, and I forget where the other one is. But she had to have stuff for her EMT school.
So
I'll have to find a
Roger
way to attach
really
this thing.
likes Matt, in case you didn't know, and now they've started dressing alike. So Matt,
What's this?
catch off. I'll go a little this
Yeah.
way so I don't hit the mic.
Okay.
Did you take the price tag off, babe?
I just grabbed it.
Okay, well you get to see how much we spent on
Oh,
you.
that's awesome.
Yeah. So now they're
Uh,
twinsies.
Roger's wearing one.
I
Mike's
got
going.
one on too.
So it says Bigfoot doesn't believe in you either, and that's Colorado Springs.
I like that. That's so cool. Thank y'all.
Or
That's
just
really
is
cool.
Colorado, right?
Just Colorado.
Yeah,
Yeah.
This
this
is
is
just for
Colorado.
Colorado.
So we saw that, and we're like, I haven't seen that one. Of course, we've seen. I'm sure you've seen most of them, but
Yeah.
we got it, and then we both said, Matt, we have to get one for Matt. So
That's awesome. Thank you very
yeah,
much.
You're welcome. Thank you for everything you do.
Yeah. I drove like an hour just to go to the Sasquatch outpost.
In Colorado?
Yeah. Well, it was also it was an hour to go see Sasquatch outpost, but it was also like go and it when instead of 100 degrees like in Denver, it was only 82 degrees. So
Yeah.
I would take the cooler weather too. And but yeah, it was an hour drive just to go to the outpost and an hour back.
I was gonna say like Colorado doesn't ever like strike me as a big Sasquatch hot zone, but I guess you've got the signs on Pikes Peak and you've got
Yeah.
like it's there, but it seems farther west is where you hear about
I have a
most
question.
of the stuff.
The guy that ran as Sasquatch or whatever, those were his signs. He ran for office.
Oh, here locally,
Did he
right?
win?
I don't think so, but those were really memorable.
Yeah,
It was
got
clever.
Now I can't remember his name now, but
Yeah.
but when they were out, yeah, it was like those little metal signs. I've got one of those in my front yard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he had like his name, I think, like cut into it or something like
Yeah.
that.
Right.
Yeah, I had several people take pictures and send them to
Yeah.
me the whole
Yeah.
time.
But
a good
he
strategy.
didn't- But we
I
don't,
don't
think
think
he won.
so. I'm not sure though.
And then he just disappeared.
Yeah.
We can't find him.
No idea what
Can't
happened
find
to
it.
But
him.
he believes in us, right? Okay, so tonight, Roger, what are we talking about tonight?
Well,
on
tonight
our
we are
show?
going to talk about the summer solstice because that is today,
That is.
right?
Right.
Right?
So, for those who don't know what that is,
What is it? What is it?
well, first of all, it's like the first official day of summer,
Yes.
right? So, we're talking about hemispheres, right?
Right.
So, in the, let's see if I can get this right.
Northern?
In the northern hemisphere, it's the summer solstice.
Yeah.
And in the southern, that doesn't make sense.
Well, it's the day is equals what it is.
What?
Today is
Is
basically equal
It's
night.
winter.
Yes.
Yeah,
It's winter
in
down
the
south.
other-
Yeah, it's
yeah.
winter down south, right? We're
So-
summer here.
Yeah, and today's the longest day.
Mm-hmm.
And then you
So March is a
slowly,
little
so this
bit-
is like where it'll be light the longest, which makes me very happy. And then it starts going back to getting darker.
Yeah, somebody posted about that. I'm like, why do you want it to get shorter days? I like the
There are
longer
people
days.
who like it. Like,
Yeah.
they like night. And I do too, but I want it to be sunny at night. So,
We could go to Alaska and that would, isn't
Yeah.
it 6 months at a time light in Alaska?
Yeah.
Kind of like dusky light.
Yeah.
so there's the June solstice, and there's 2 a year. And then there's the, December
December.
solstice. So this is also known as midsummer.
Yeah. This is summer solstice. December's winter solstice.
So if you have heard of Midsummer's Night Dream, right?
Yeah.
I remember going and seeing that. It was really good. All the fairies and who's in it? Puck. That's who's in it, right?
Yep.
Quiz to win a prize.
Well, I would have missed that one.
Remember that one for later.
Yeah. So a lot of people celebrate this day very seriously, and they celebrate in a bunch of different ways. But basically, why, Roger, explain the moon and the sun and our planet, and why it's not the moon. It's this.
No.
Why is it?
It's the
longest
sun and how the sun and the earth are positioned together. So as the rotation starts today on, it actually starts rotating where the days are a little shorter going into
Right.
winter, right? And then rotates around. And which in the day, I mean, it was a very important because it's how they celebrated, the things they celebrated. I mean, in the winter solstice, they celebrated because they knew that spring was coming. The days were getting a little longer, sunlight's a little more. However, we kind of fuck it up because we want to change our daylight savings time and,
Where's
to
that
say. Oh.
Cuss word. Okay.
But we want to, we do though. We throw daylight savings times in there. And it used to be we celebrated the day being longer versus trying to just change the clock,
Right. So June 21st today,
Yeah.
right?
which is also my parents' anniversary. I forgot.
Oh,
I think, yeah.
well, happy
Think that's
anniversary.
right.
But it's also the first day of Cancer season, which I'm a Cancer. So anybody listening,
womp,
shout
womp.
out if you're at least sun sign, Cancer, right?
Sunshine.
Sun sign.
Sunshine.
What are you?
Sunshine.
What's your moon? Is it?
Moon
Cancer?
is
I thought we were
not-
flip-flop.
No, Aquarius.
Okay. So it's the first day, and so it can leave you feeling like a lot more in touch with your emotions. You might be a little more sensitive or sentimental, and Cancer season just magnifies all that. So that's what we just started, I guess, today, right?
Yep.
This marks the start of it.
This is true.
So twice yearly we have these events. So it's a big deal. In paganism, it's a big deal, but in a bunch of, we'll talk about the different ways that it's celebrated. The biggest thing to remember is it has a lot to do with fire because we're talking about the sun energy.
Yep.
So the element that you're going to talk about the most during summer solstice is the fire element, right?
That's right.
Even though Cancer, which is interesting, is water
It's
element.
a water element, yeah.
So, yeah. So anything else on that? You're going to make me talk all the time.
Well,
I'm
you-
trying to get Roger to, because he understands like the planet stuff better. I can understand what it means, what we're celebrating, all that. But when I'm really trying to talk about the positioning of stuff in the sky, forget about it. I can't do it.
Well, we actually had a really cool event last week, right? It was it 5 or 6 planets you could see in a row? I think that was last week.
Oh, I didn't hear about that.
Yeah, I think it was last week. There was like, and I could be off a week too for being gone, but it was like 5 or 6 planets you could see, and they were lined up across the sky.
Yeah.
Of course, I was lazy. I didn't go look.
So we were going to do, like, just in the middle of talking about summer solstice, a few of the things that kind of go along with this day and how it's celebrated. Our bracelet probably, because we don't have one specifically for the summer solstice. Roger, if you want to show.
So these are actually the Soul Ra. Okay, so these are the Ra God.
Ra meaning like R-A, the sun
RA,
god.
Right. So these are for personal power, leadership, inner strength, sun connection. Okay. The crystals on here are the tiger's eye, citrine, gold hematite, and gold sheen obsidian. So these are the bracelets that we would have to help represent for the summer solstice.
Right.
These are great ones to have.
So, can I see one?
Yeah.
So, like you said, personal power, leadership, inner strength, and connection with the sun, right? So it's perfect for today.
Yeah.
Plus, these are some of my favorites, just because they're classy looking and you can wear them like. They're great for guys too. Just so y'all know, we do a lot of our bracelets. We don't really change them up that much. Like this one, it's very good for guys, right?
Oh, yeah, this is a great
So we
one
just
for
make them
guys.
bigger if you want them.
Yeah.
We just don't make them all the time in every single size, right?
Yeah.
So you just need to tell us if you want one smaller or bigger,
Definitely.
and we can do that. The crystals associated with summer solstice are going to be any of your yellow crystals. So we have, let me see if we can do this. Sunstone. Roger, you want to hold?
Yeah. So these are sunstone.
So as opposed to like moonstone, it's a feldspar. So what I call that in the middle of that, and I don't know if the camera's going to catch it or for people listening.
Yeah, it's a little tougher to see
It's,
that little flash.
Yeah, it's got, I call it glitter. It's not really glitter, but just for fun. It looks like little glitter stuff that's in the stone. And then, of course, citrine,
And
which connects with your solar plexus and with the sun really well.
2 of them there.
This is another sunstone, right?
Yep. Another sunstone.
And then in our bracelet, we had, in the raw bracelet, we had the tiger's eye.
Tiger's eye. Yep.
And you could do golden tiger's eye too.
Yeah. We had regular. Oh well, we
brown
had
tiger's
didn't have the golden. We had the yellow and the blue and the red. So I just grabbed the yellow.
Is this
This?
bloodstone?
Yep.
Yeah.
Bloodstone.
So bloodstone would be great
Mhm.
for.
So.
So how would you use it? You could wear a bracelet like we showed you, or you could wrap these, or just carry them in your pockets, put them beside your bed, put them at work, however you want to do that.
Right.
Yellow
Yellow.
jasper.
Jasper. Yep. Yellow
Going
jasper.
good so far.
Yep. There's yellow
See,
jasper.
just all your yellows. So what's interesting is that's all going to tie with your solar plexus too.
Mhm.
Okay, so that's your confidence, which the sun is what usually gives you all of that, where the moon is going to be more in touch with all your emotions, right?
Right.
Okay, so
Another yellow jasper.
yellow.
Yep.
And then red jasper.
Yep. So.
That's very grounding. It's connected with your root chakra or your
Red
base
jasper.
chakra. So it's about security and feeling safe and yeah. And then finally, these are aragonite, but they're little Sputniks.
Yep.
And these are really good for a lot of health issues, but also for the summer solstice.
Yeah.
So you don't have to have all those. You would just kind of pick one. That's why I like the bracelets so much, because it's like when you have a bunch of the bracelets on, or even just one, you're wearing a grid on your arm. So crystal grids that a lot of people make, that literally a bracelet is a crystal grid that you're wearing, and it just makes it easy, right? So I think we would probably consider making one, but people think like the day that it's over,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
But it continues. People celebrate it a lot, but primarily on this day. So let's talk about some of the ways that people celebrate the summer solstice.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
So I know that in New York they have a big yoga thing, and I'm not sure if they did this year. I didn't look it up, but maybe somebody listening or watching can look it up. They'll have it. I'm not sure if it's in Times Square or Central Park or where that is, but it's a huge gathering of yogis. And also, Stonehenge is very, very busy for the summer solstice. I mean, it's going to have not only tourists, but serious people who practice paganism. They're going to be there for it. And they'll wear like flowers in their hair or garlands or wreaths or things like that. And just to celebrate, but people will do it in different ways. Sometimes it's just a tourist thing, but sometimes it's very much the people who are doing it will take it very, very seriously.
I kind of like this one because it falls in with all the rednecks, which is lighting bonfires, singing, and dancing.
So
That sounds like a good time.
I mean,
hey,
come on
A&M,
now.
it's an Aggie thing.
Yes,
Bonfires. So bonfires are huge because we talked about it's the fire element, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So dancing, one of the best ways you can just like clear energy off of you that you don't want anymore is just to twirl around and dance, or just to dance inside your home, go dancing with people you know. Like, just be a fool about it. Just let yourself go and
So
dance.
twerking.
Yeah, that.
Okay. Just
Yeah.
double checking on that.
And also just reconnecting with nature is a big thing that people are going to do during the summer solstice. So a lot of the witches for summer solstice will decorate their altar with summer fruits, flowers. They'll leave a candle burning. A lot of times I would do, if I was going to do maybe a gold candle or a yellow candle would be really good,
You mean
or
like
an orange. Or
This
an
is
orange
gold.
candle. Oh, that's gold.
Yeah.
You know,
In
I
the
always
jars, this is
say
always gold.
I always say that our gold looks like orange.
It does.
It does.
They're two different. They look very close. Their shades different. Just because you can't get a true gold candle in a glass jar, because the gold candles are actually kind of like this, but then they dip them with a gold metallic look on the outside.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, according to pagan, this is more folklore, evil spirits in particular would walk the earth more freely at this time. In order to ward them off, people would wear protective garlands and herbs of flowers. One of the most powerful of these is called Chase Devil. It's also known as St. John's wort. You guys have probably heard of that. It's been used for kind of like depression, I think, Matt, is that right? St. John's wort, and for some other things.
I just had it over.
Sounds right.
And it's over here, babe.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, wait, I just brought that in here.
But it's also very much used for spell work and
Yeah.
for safety. And that's because St. John's Day is July 19th. So a lot of people start celebrating St. John with the summer solstice. Okay, and they bring that all together.
So even our tag on the packages, what it says is St. John's wort is great for warding off evil spirits or negative magic, and can be quite potent for exorcisms, instilling courage, and divination.
So it's great if you think somebody's throwing some crap at you and you want to ward that off, or even if you feel like a lot of people will come in and they'll be like, oh, I just feel like I've been cursed. A lot of times that's not true. You've maybe had a run of bad luck, or you're not manifesting. I'm not trying to shame you that it's your fault, but you're just not in a great space. And then one thing happens, and then you get down, and another thing happens, and then another thing. It's not usually someone cursing you. And why I'll say that is because most people are too busy thinking about themselves they're lighting their candles for prosperity and abundance. They're not usually spending most of their time trying to curse other people. Okay, does it happen? Yes. Will we give you the tools and help you to deal with that? Yes. Will we ever ask to get that off for you? No, that's not something we do.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, and actually, St.
it's-
John's wort is actually one of my favorites just to use in all spells, because of that. It works with against negative magic, and it just helps boost your spells overall.
Right.
Yeah, so I really like this one. I probably use it in the majority of my spells. Just a pinch. I don't fill
Yeah.
it up, but just always just a pinch to help with it.
Especially if you're going to use it, like say in that candle, that 7-day candle. If you poke I do odd numbers. So if you poke with a skewer, like 3 holes down in there, you could put some oil and you could put a few herbs. But if you put too many, it's going to mess up how the wick burns. And if you're trying to read the way it's burning and you're trying to interpret something about that, oh, it's not burning very well, it's getting all smoky around the edges, you probably put too many herbs is really what's happening. It's not that something bad's going on usually. It might be, but check your herbs first.
Yeah, definitely
Right?
so. Definitely so. Because I see too many people putting way too much in.
Yeah, it's like more's not better.
And I did pull an oil. This is actually, and I didn't pull it because it's orange, guys. I just pulled it because we're talking about, with the solstice, a lot of times it's like fresh flowers and things, right? Fruits. Well, this is actually the Citrus Explosion essential oil blend. So I thought, what we had back there, this is a really good one. And it has a really nice citrus smell to it. It's not over strong or anything, so it smells really nice. But it's a really good one to use within this type of spell work with the candles or even the gristros bags. Or
So if you were going to
bags.
use the candle, what would you do?
What I would do, like you were saying, I would use these are actually paraffin wax candles, so they're very solid. So you're going to need something besides like a wood skewer. You'll need something like a metal one to go 3 holes down into it. And then in each one of the holes, I'd put 3 to 5 drops of the essential oil. And I would also then, while that's soaking through, I would write on the outside here with maybe a Sharpie marker or even a paint marker or anything like that and decorate the outside of the candle and write my intentions of what I'm burning this candle for.
Okay.
Then I would add maybe some of my herbs. Maybe if you, like I said, the St. John's wort would be a really good one. Like I said, I always add that to it. But even if you had like some little flowers, maybe even like rose petals or, hey, you know what? If you lived like in the South like us and had an orange tree or a lemon tree, I used to have a lemon tree. But you can get the little leaves or the petals off of that and put in there, dry them out and then use those in your spell work too. Would be a good idea for something like this.
Okay. So, did you say what the spell work would be about, or are we going to get into that now? What different kinds of spells you can do?
If you want to, we could, definitely so. I would probably be looking at one, though. I guess it depends on what the person's looking to do, right? For me, this time of year, it's about, that sun energy we're talking about, is bringing more of that energy and keeping that energy in myself to carry through the, let's say, the dark times, because the days are starting to shorten, right? So I'd want to carry that energy with me as I'm going. So this would be a great one to kind of help absorb more and more and more of that sun.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. That's me.
It does to you? Okay, well, that's good.
I found a couple that are really, really simple.
Yeah.
One is for your summer solstice. You can just step outside. You still could, at least in Dallas. You just step outside and close your eyes and just stand and let the sun just, how it feels good when you just let the sun just kind of envelop your body, right?
Mm-hmm.
And move your body until the sun touches exactly where you have either physical pain or emotional pain, mental, spiritual, whatever it is. So let's say you had a heartache. You could just move and turn to where the sun's just right going towards your heart chakra. And just let the sun, and just set an intention that my heart is healed, I am happy, I am, however you want to do it in a positive, affirming way. Let's say because you were heartbroken at the time. Now, you might feel like, well, I'm lying because I still feel heartbroken. Just go ahead and say it as though it's come to pass. You're not lying. You're just affirming that this is how you're going to feel. Another one that's really simple is doing like a ladder. So you go outside and you literally will step towards the sun and you'll say, the first one could be, I accept love into my life. And the second one could be, you step on another ladder. You're visualizing a ladder going to the sun, but you're just walking like in the parking lot or in your backyard or whatever, and you're going towards the sun. And you could do this any day, really. And the next one would be, whatever. I accept prosperity and abundance. So you're doing a spell, but you're working with that great big celestial being, the sun, to help you manifest what you're trying to bring into your life.
That's cool.
Okay. So that's what I thought were some that like just really, really simple things, because I don't necessarily like to. Roger's more the one who will do a lot of the herbs and a lot of the mixing of the herbs and all those kinds of things. For me, I just like to set intentions and use maybe something outside and just go and do that outside. And so it doesn't have to be complicated, or you don't have to spend a lot of money if you don't want to. If you like to do that, and even doing this isn't spending a lot of money with the candle spell. I will say our candles, I realize you can go get them other places, even the white ones you can get at the dollar store. Let me tell you what's going to happen, and this is serious. I mean, it really will. The wicks, most of the time, will go sideways. They don't get them straight down. And so you'll be going, what does this mean? It's burning funny. It went out, or it's real dim. It's not working. Yeah. And you'll read that take that into the reading. Like even if you use Madame Hamida's candle book, which is great, candle magic book, she tells you how to interpret that. Well, if you have a wick that is going sideways because you have a crappy candle, just know that's what you're misinterpreting something that's like an environmental cause of the product that you bought because you didn't buy a decent product.
Well, they're also not 100% paraffin wax,
right,
for one, so they don't burn clean. Two, they have less wax because if you set them side by side and even just feel the weight of them, they totally weigh different. The glass is thinner on those, but the biggest thing is the actual wick itself. Not only does it burn, or it's not always straight down the center, it actually has little impurities in the wick itself. Okay, they had an issue a few years ago. There was an article where it literally caught fire and exploded inside the candle because it is thin glass. It exploded inside the lady's house, and they had an issue with that more than once. So you got to be it's worth a couple of bucks more to get a better candle.
Right.
It just is. And you're getting better candle, better quality, better everything. You're not guessing, well, maybe my spell's working, or, oh my gosh, why is it black inside? Because that's the last thing you want is your candle to be black on the inside.
And then we had somebody send a picture they brought the candle up and they were like, why is it all black like this? Well, it depends. Did you get it here? Then let's go from there. Okay. Yeah. Or is it not, we're not the only place to get decent candles. I'm not saying that, but where'd you get it? And then let's take it from there.
Yeah.
Some of the gods and goddesses for the summer solstice are, from the Roman cultures, there's Juno, the patroness of marriage, and also from the Roman culture, Vesta, the goddess of the hearth. The hearth was a big deal, right, back in the day. So you're going to hear a lot of stuff about the hearth. Greek, Hestia is the goddess of the hearth. Japanese. Now, I know the story, the story behind Amaterasu. I just can't ever say it, but she's a solar goddess. Greek, Rhea is the goddess of female fertility, and Welsh is, can you say that, Roger? Arian Odd? I can't say that either.
Arian Rod.
And then Egyptian, Aten, the Egyptian sun god. Greek, Apollo. And Apollo's the god of the sun, music, and healing. And then there's the Aztec, and I'm not even going to attempt to because I butchered that.
Can you please try that one?
You do it. But I would say Ra. That's who I'd work with, is Ra, R-A, the bracelet we just showed you. Okay, so a couple of rituals, and I'm on page 7 if you want to look.
Yep, right here.
So you want to do the first one?
Sure.
Okay, so 8 solstice rituals that you could try this year. So what's the first one, Roger?
Here comes the sun.
So what do you do with that?
Well, this one looks like you're waking up early, so just left me out.
Oh, forget it.
Just left me out, waking up early. I'll leave that one to Matt.
You can do it anytime, as long as the sun's out, right, Matt? You have to get up early?
Wake up early? Well, I mean, you can. That doesn't mean I want to.
No, me either. Okay, and the next one I'll do is, it says burn, baby, burn. So any of the cultures that celebrate the midsummer, they do it with fire. Okay, so when I was talking about the yellow or gold candle earlier, what you want to do, and we do this a lot of our moon ceremonies, you want to write down what you want to release, and then you will fold that away from you like 3 times or 5 times or even 1 time. Just fold it away. And then you're going to put that in if you want to put it in a hearth or a bonfire or something like that, but if you're not doing that, you could use a candle and just rip it up really good so you're not making a big mess, and then just burn a little bit at a time, and then you're burning that away, okay? And then you can ask yourself some questions as you do that, but writing down the things that are no longer serving you, and you can, get rid of those.
I think this next one here, a lot of people need to kind of practice this one. It's fall in love with life. Okay? And I think it's because a lot of people take life way too serious, or situations way too serious when it shouldn't be. But, here it says, remembering that feeling of new love, everything feels vibrant and alive. Practice falling in love with your life, inviting in dancing, laughter, and music. Pay attention to the flowers around you, the light and the colors, and let yourself smile and express joy.
So we're going to skip the herbs that would go with that to help you do that, and to make a bag. We're going to show one in just a second.
Sure.
And we'll come back to those herbs. But one of them would be St. John's wort that we talked about.
Yep.
You can do, come on, this is like kind of obvious. Get outside mainly is the thing. Have a picnic.
Not here. It's 105 degrees today. You better take an outside AC with you.
And the biggest thing is just those affirmations, those positive affirmations. Like, I promise to love and appreciate myself. I promise to be gentle with myself. And then it's also a very good time to do, Roger's going to have, I'm sure we have jugs of water outside all day.
Yep.
Probably those will go into our distilled water that we use for our crystal infused water. And so you can use any of that. You can add herbs to it. You can get roses, like Roger was talking to, rose petals, and use those. But if we want to, Roger, you want to go back to those herbs.
Sure.
And on page 9.
Yep. So another is using herbs or carrying herbs even with you, right? So one of the things that we do here, we do mojo bags, grist bags, and we do customs, right? And in cultures, all cultures, basically, there's some version of this. This one's pretty simple because we use the little, like a piece of fabric, different colors depending on what it is. This one we chose kind of the gold yellow color. But even I have a friend that he does, not wishing bags, mojo bags, medicine bags. Sorry, just totally drew a blank. He does medicine bags, and he does kind of the same thing. He makes little leather bags and puts the stuff inside it, but it's kind of the same thing. What's cool about this is the herbs, if you think about it, and the crystals that we talked about are really great if you can carry them with you kind of through the year even, right?
Right.
Because it can, I hope y'all noticed that a lot of this was, you're talking about is actually your own energy. It wasn't like, I want to bring somebody else's energy in. This is a lot about your own energy.
Right.
Right? So it's talking about this list you just talked about, right? I promise to love and appreciate myself. I promise to be gentle with myself. Live my life to the fullest. Honor and take care of myself. Honor my time. Ask for help when I need it. Those are things that we need to do and work on ourselves. So how do you remember to do that? And these little bags are great for that because you can set that intention with it. And what you would do is you would actually could add, say, the crystal to it. You could add a little bit of the herbs to it. And, you can wrap this up.
Oil.
You can, and then put the oils on it on the outside here. And then tie this, and you can carry it in your pocket or wherever, right? But some of the oil or the herbs that we were talking about with this that would be great is fennel, okay? Because that helps a lot with confidence, longevity, courage.
Do we carry that?
We do.
Okay.
St. John's wort, okay? Like we talked about, St. John's wort is also courage, confidence, magic, success, okay? Lily, I don't think we have lily. That's one I don't think. But you know what? Lilies is one of those flowers that a lot of people give as, kind of a gift for flowers. Well, don't let the flowers die. Pick them off and let them dry, and then you've got some lily, blossoms that you can use.
Yeah.
Works great. But lily's great for peace, obviously, right? Heal the pain of a broken heart. Okay. Frankincense, all-purpose solar incense and consecration, spirituality, and success.
So frankincense, we know, has been used, when they have the swinging, what are those, the incense?
Incense burners, yes.
Burners. And churches of different kinds, they'll use frankincense very much too. And it's really, so it's not just us that's saying, oh, you're warding off evil spirits. It's done in church too.
It is.
They're swinging basically that incense around and getting rid of spirits and things like that.
And frankincense was used even before churches. It was any spirituality practice, even like Egyptian times. That was all in frankincense.
Right.
So it's been used for thousands and thousands of years.
Right.
Chickweed is an herb worn to attract love. Okay, you can do those in the little grist bags also. Heather brings one in touch with inner beauty and divinity.
Yep.
Almost screwed that one up.
That's fine.
Lavender, love, harmony, domestic tranquility, and mental clarity.
I think it's just calming.
Yeah.
Lavender.
I think it's just a really good, smooth, soothing.
Yeah.
My cousin was having problems sleeping. I told her to get some and put on her pillow.
Mm-hmm.
And that helped her a lot. Mugwort, this is another one of my favorite. Mugwort, magic, longevity, clairvoyance, psychic empowerment.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
pretty strong.
It is.
It's going to be a step up from your, white sage or anything like that. It's going to be stronger. It's going
Right.
to get you in touch with your psychic abilities.
Rose, like I said earlier, rose is love, compassion, beauty, aphrodisiac attributed to Venus.
Yeah.
Woo-hoo. And Vivarian, and that was another. Vervain, I meant. Vervain, we sometimes have, sometimes we don't have. I'm going to tell you guys, Vervain doesn't smell the best in the world.
It doesn't.
It does not smell good.
But it's for love,
But-
magic, aphrodisiac.
It's crazy, right?
Yeah.
So yeah. It's we actually had to set it outside for a little bit to let it air out the other day. It's like, woo, that container is tough.
That's how I think vetiver, which is different.
Yeah.
But to me, vetiver doesn't smell great
Yeah.
either. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's
So-
some of those that are a little bit tough to
Yeah.
deal with.
So you could use any of those. You need to use all of them. You just need to look and see, okay, what are you working on? What do you want to use? Are you trying to do protection? Are you trying to bring love into your life? Trying to bring prosperity? And what is it that you're trying to let go of, and what are you trying to bring into your life? So that's what you really want to do with crystals, herbs, or anything like that. It's like make up your mind what you're wanting to release, and then what you're wanting to replace it with, what you're trying to bring in.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really just need two. Now you don't need a packet full of all kinds of
No.
different things.
And you don't want these gigantically huge to carry around, and that's why these pieces of fabric we cut, they're 6 by 6. Michelle cut these.
Approximately.
Michelle cut these, so they're approximately
Who knows? It
6
may
inches
be
by 6
4 by
inches.
4. Maybe 10 by 10.
ish.
We're not sure.
Yeah, but you just want to kind of, and actually my last spell class, we did these bags. We used the fabric and
Yeah.
made the little bags. I think we did prosperity. And, I think we used green and tied them off with gold
Yeah.
and to carry around with people.
Yeah.
So they work great for that. And you don't have to have a lot in there. And that's what we talk about is, a pinch of the herbs or even the crystals. We sell different size, shapes of crystals even. It's what you're comfortable with carrying and working with to put into those bags, or regardless if it's this type of bag or if it's our kind of like the medicine bags where they're kind of pre-made, a little bit. Type
But if they're
things.
little, you can tie them, like a guy can put them in their pocket, or you can just tie them onto your bra strap or whatever. A lot of people do that, and they're hidden, so it's not a big deal.
Right.
Yeah.
So it works great. And then you can pick out, especially go back and re-listen to it, and you can listen to these different herbs and what they're good for. You pick out the ones that what you're trying to bring in and work with.
Yeah.
And
we have a
add
list at the
those
store
to it.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come in, spend a little time. You can
Right.
actually go through all the jars back there.
Yeah, you can.
So
I mean,
if
it's
you
fun to learn. And it can get overwhelming because it's just like crystals. A lot of them can be used for different things. So that's good, though, because you could get one that's good for a lot of different things. Just like, a tiger's eye as a crystal. You can use it for all different kinds, or jade, use it for different things. And you might get that all-purpose herb, too, that you can use for different things, right? So that way you're not just buying every herb. And I would suggest to you, until you know you're really going to use herbs and you're going to use things at a store like ours, you don't need to buy it all. You know, figure out like what you like working with, what modality. Now, if you really like doing the spells with all different kinds of things, that's great. But like if you're like me and you'd rather just kind of move the energy, I'm just like a little lazy with doing all that stuff. I move the energy with like my thoughts and setting my intentions a little bit more. I might use a crystal or something like that, but I'll use kind of the elements around me outside, right? And it's not because I'm more of a advanced with my work or anything. It's probably more that I'm just too lazy to go get all that stuff, and it's just not something I enjoy. But if you're more like, if you enjoy concocting things in the kitchen or creating things, this is something you would enjoy, because Roger really enjoys that type of stuff. Do you want to show the little the spread that people can use? Do we have time to do that?
Where is it?
I have it.
I was going to say, I don't have anything.
So it's on page 5. Now, if you Google, you're going to find all kinds of spreads for the summer
they didn't
solstice.
print. That's what it was.
Okay, so you're going to, so if you'll get the cards, then.
They're right there by you.
Okay, so some cards we just tried to pull. Our featured artist for Newts in Portland that you guys need to sign up for. It is in October. It starts on the 6th is the Co-Creators Day, and it runs through that Sunday, the 9th. And she will be our featured artist. And I thought this deck, the Tarot de Saint Croix, her name is Lisa de Saint Croix. I thought this would be the perfect deck for us to use and we do sell that here. For you guys to use for summer solstice. So if you'd open it, Roger, I'll show you. I can walk through, and if y'all want to, anybody listening, you can listen to it now. You can play along if you have your cards. And instead of like doing readings because of time, we will go through this little, and Matt will let us know on time. Okay, so Roger, you're going to pull 9 cards, okay?
Okay. So just
That's what
shuffle
you're
up a
gonna
little
do.
bit, pull 9 cards.
Yeah, so
Gotcha.
everybody, you're going to pull 9 cards, and if you have your
1,
cards, that's great. Otherwise, just kind of take notes or listen to this later.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Okay, so that means you're going to have 9 positions in your spread. A spread is like the positions that the cards go in, okay? So the first position, so the first card that you pulled, you're going to put this in position 1. Matt, you want cards? You want to play?
That's okay.
Okay. Yeah. So just get them out and shuffle those up a little bit.
Okay.
Make sure you shuffle your cards and always set the intention, whatever, however you set it, like for your highest and best good. Okay. And so we'll give Matt a second to shuffle those around and get 9 cards out. All you guys too. Just pull out 9 randomly. And I don't think those have ever been shuffled, Matt, so I'm not sure. Are those going to work?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so the first position is number 1, and you can put these in any order you want. You can go straight across. I don't care how you do it. I don't really care on spreads where they are and all that stuff unless you're trying to do something cutesy. Number 1 position is going to be, what is the theme for the summer? And who are your spirit guides this summer? So that's on number 1, so it's kind of 2 parts. So look at that first card. And I'll let Matt catch up and I'll let Roger kind of read his. Roger, what would you say your theme is for the summer, and who are your guides this summer based on your first card?
All right, so the first card is actually the 3 of Pentacles. And if you notice, there's got the person here actually doing like a painting almost. So I think the theme behind it is actually kind of making yourself better, trying to learn something.
Okay.
And maybe kind of something that you want to bring in as far as learning to as some way to relax almost.
Okay. And so for my first one, I'm just going to read for myself. My theme for the summer would be to use everything I have at my disposal. I got the Magician, to know that I have everything that I need. So my theme is to count on that. And the guides, spirit guides for this summer would be, from all the elements, pull from whomever I need for whatever topic I'm doing, okay? So that would be my first one. And so that's your first card. What is the theme for the summer? So get yourself a good theme. And who are the guides that are helping you do that? That's your first card, okay? All right, number 2. And Matt, if you want to step in on any of these and tell us what you got, just let me know. Number 2, summer is the season of rapid growth and progress. What is growing rapidly in your life right now? And where will this growth be focused this summer? So what's growing in your life? What's the and where's the focus of that?
Well, on that one, it was just kind of funny talking about it being growth, because this is the 8 of Wands, but the 8 of Wands on this card is actually the growing, the stems growing up with the flowers. Not sure what type of flowers are supposed to be, but with the hummingbirds. So I think it's actually growth, overall growth of kind of sprouting out across. See?
Okay, so what's growing is growth.
Yeah, what's growing is more growth.
Okay, so there's a lot of stuff growing.
Yeah,
is
a
what
lot
you're
of
saying.
things expanding.
Okay, so for me, I got for my second card, so we know summer's rapid growth and progress. What is growing rapidly in your life right now? What's growing rapidly in my life right now? This was the card we had on Tarot Takeaways with Jamie L. Ford. And for me, this would be, I feel like I'm getting myself to where I can relax a little bit more. So what's growing rapidly is the need to relax and me understanding that. Okay, so number 2 is what's growing in your life right now. So we've got what's the summer about, who's guiding you, and number 2 is what's growing rapidly this summer. Okay,
There you go.
good.
Okay.
All right, number 3,
Yep.
third card. Where do you need the summer fire in your life? Okay, so where do you need fire in your life this summer? Where do you need some fire in your life? Number 3. Oh, Roger, he's laughing, so I don't know if I want him to talk.
Hey, look, Matt, got a wild woman over here.
I like that.
Wild woman. It's what it is. Look, she's got a
Okay.
lion in behind her. Got hers.
What is it? The Queen of...
Queen of Wands.
Okay.
Queen of Wands got the wild woman.
Okay. I think I read that as he needs to be nicer to his wife.
Oh, is that what it is? Oh.
So
Dang.
I got what's growing, where do I need fire in my... I need to have more fun. I got the 3 of Cups, and that would be true.
Wild woman.
Okay, there you go. All right.
So this
Matt,
has
what'd
been
you
a
get?
little challenging because these are all in Spanish.
I didn't know. Okay,
yes.
well, look at the picture.
I am, and I know some of them, but like some of them, I'm like, I don't know exactly the translation on some of the stuff, but I do know some of them. So yeah, on that one, I got the 5 of Wands, which, if I'm remembering correctly, is a little bit about disagreement, and so I guess I would interpret that as, here, let me get my camera on, and I'll show you these because these are actually kind of cool. They look like old drawings or paintings art or something. They're
It's a friend of ours
I
from
love that.
Brazil.
Yeah, they're very neat. But yeah, even the book is in Spanish, so I was like, okay, I was trying to figure out some of these things. But
Yeah.
yeah, so what? I mean, interpret that as I need to maybe stand up for myself a little bit more, perhaps, or something like that. Get it, fight for what I believe in a little bit more. Perhaps that's
Yeah.
Yep.
what
Sounds good.
you could see that as.
So where you need the summer fire in your life is to stand up for yourself. Roger needs a wild woman, and I need to celebrate life more. Like you said, enjoy
There you go.
life more, right?
See?
You said that earlier, that a
Yep.
lot of us need that. Okay, so that's card number 3.
Yep.
And then card number 4, sorry, just a second. How can you help the intentions you planted in spring, okay, so whatever you started in spring, continue to grow and bear fruit now in the summer? Okay, so this is the continuation card, number 4, from
All right.
spring to summer.
Well, I got the 5 of Wands, and so I think this would be kind of more with the 5 of Wands.
That one you just got?
Yes.
Okay.
And so I think with this one, with what you're talking about, would be to stop resisting and go with it more, and try to and stop resisting and trying to control everything, and just go with it.
Okay.
Go with the flow.
So for me, what I started in the spring and what I'm going to continue in the summer is, honestly, it's the Ace of Cups. And again, I think this is more just allowing love and happiness and joy in my life, instead of, I am that one who takes things a little bit too serious. I overreact to things. Because I am psychic, I tend to pick up on every little thing. Well, we all have things we think about and I'm going to pick up on that immediately instead of always picking up on the good. I need to pick up on, and I started that in the spring, and I'm going to continue that into the summer. Matt, did you want to share? Are you good?
Yeah, so I got the. Tell me again what that position.
So this
represents.
position 4 is what you're going to carry, what you started in the spring. How are you going to carry that over into the summer to make it bear fruit?
So yeah, I got the 4 of Wands, and again, these are very cool little cards.
Cool.
So yeah, I mean, I guess that just means fostering relationships that I began in the spring with, continuing on either through work or friends or something like that, or just strengthening those bonds. I would think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you think it, you're right.
Yes.
Okay, it's your reading. You can't be wrong about it. So, okay. So number 5, the 5th card is creative expression reaches its height on August 1st. Where should you be focusing your creative energy for the next 6 weeks?
Ooh.
Okay, so that's a big one. This is card number
Where
5.
should I focus my creative
Energy.
for the next 6 weeks? I guess I'm giving up drinking.
Well, you don't drink that much, Roger. That's not. Is that really what you're saying?
Well, I mean, it looks like red wine poured out on the ground over here.
Okay.
But I think it's maybe it's actually I think it's more of kind of inner thoughts and things like that, and to focus.
I want to read this
more
card
on
so bad for him, but you know how I'd read that for someone?
How would you say that?
Let me see it. Okay, so it said number 5. He's not
I forgot
wrong.
what you said.
I said it. Creative energy
Oh.
reaches its height on August the 1st. Okay, so how should you focus your creative energy for the next 6 weeks? And you focus on those 2 things, those 2 cups that are standing, instead of looking on at the things that are on the ground, that the wine that is spilled or whatever that's not going well. You focus on the 2 things that are, or the things that are standing that are going well.
The 2 cups that are standing.
Yeah, that's what I would say.
Because I got 2 hands.
And for mine, I got a second ace. I had the Ace of Cups right before it. I got the Ace of Pentacles. So I say I keep saying ROI, return on investment in my life. And that's not just money, but so for me, from now until that August the 1st, the next 6 weeks, where do I need to put my energy? I need to put my energy where it's the best return on investment for me and my family, for Roger, for not just money, but everything in our life. Okay? Matt?
I don't know that I know how to interpret this one because so this is I got the 3 of Swords.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. Maybe help me out on that one because I don't know how that would apply towards like applying my creative energy towards.
Okay. So break it down. What does the card mean to you?
I mean, generally, as my understanding of it is, like dealing with grief, heartache, things like that. So.
Okay. So, and the question is, where should you be focusing your creative energy for the next 6 weeks from now to August 1st? I think you're just going to be healing that heart more and more and more because of the stuff you've been talking about before, right?
Sure.
So you're focusing on if there's heart healing that needs to take place, because that's usually what that card can mean. You're going to keep focusing on that, right?
Maybe finding outlets via creativity to help that out, perhaps. I mean, if I'm listening to the question there or the prompt. So
yeah, if you don't want to take to what creative expression, since it reaches its height, where should you be focusing your creative energy? You're right. So you've got a lot of creative energy.
Which I think there's maybe even a narrow definition of what creative is. I think a lot of people, especially in my line of work, think of creative as something outward.
Right.
But really that could just mean, what are you creating? Like, are you writing for yourself? That's
Exactly.
creation, right? Are you
For sure.
doing something for yourself? So it doesn't always have to be like, what video am I putting on the internet? Which is often what I think of when I think of creative stuff, because it's always outward.
That's a really good point,
Yeah.
though. It doesn't have to be. Your creative energy can be totally focused inward
Yeah.
for what you're doing for yourself. Okay, so number 6, the 6th card. Are y'all with me still, everybody?
Yep.
Okay, I'm trying to make them easier and shorter. How can you make the fullest use of your potential this season. Okay, so 6th card is, how do you reach your fullest potential during this season, this summer solstice season?
All right. Well, I got the 4 of Wands, but on this card it has a crossroads on it, so I think it's making the right choices.
Okay.
Okay, and I think it's actually kind of contemplating on those choices and actually looking at the pros and cons of each way to go and make sure I'm going the right way.
Okay, so my 6th position again is, how can you make the fullest of your potential this season? For me, I think it's to speak up. For me to get in my Queen of Swords state, to say what I think, to stick to it, and to not waffle when I know that something's right and I know that there's a way that something should go. All right, that one's pretty clear to me. How can I make the fullest use of my potential this season? I've got pretty good head on my shoulders. I don't always use it. Okay, so that's for me.
Okay.
And I got the Knight of Cups, or the Caballero de Copas, if I'm saying that correctly.
You sound good saying it. That sounds good to me.
I mean, to me, that seems pretty straightforward. Like, how do you read the prompt one more time?
So the prompt is, how can you make the fullest use of your potential this season?
Right, which is what that's about, right?
Yeah.
It's just apply yourself fully to whatever it is you're doing.
Go for it. Yeah.
Which I guess is probably good advice, right? Like, don't half-ass things. Like, you go full-fledged into something.
Yeah. All right, number 7. The summer solstice is the culmination of the sun's life cycle, which began on the winter solstice. What is reaching culmination within you from the first half of the year? So what's coming to fruition that was from the first half of the year? Okay, so it's kind of deep. You get it? Just turn the card.
I got it. I'm trying to think through this. I've got the 9 of Cups.
So what's coming to fruition now? that's
Actually,
going
I
on?
see it as what's coming is that
That's a good
everything
card.
I've worked, everything that we've worked for and done is all starting to come back to us in full.
Yeah. Mine's a little difficult because it is that we've all pulled the 5 of Wands now, I believe. So I pulled this is the traditional 5 of Wands here. Haven't we all pulled it?
Yep.
So for me, it's culmination, which began. What is reaching culmination within you? It's conflict. It is conflict within myself. Like Matt was saying earlier, creativity doesn't have to be without. Neither does conflict. Conflict can be within yourself. And I've had conflict within myself of, where do I want to put my time? Where do I want to put my energy, my talents, my efforts? That is going to best serve me, my family, and those, in the community that I serve. So that makes sense to me.
Okay. And I got the, if you can see that here, the 9 of Pentacles. Which would just be, I mean, yeah, that's literally like or creating a nice, stable environment for myself, which is probably very well needed. And also, I think as I am trying to do more and more in the position that I'm in now, is share that with others. So I think that's probably a very, if that means I can do more of that in the coming months, then that's welcome for me.
Cool.
That's a good card. Okay, we've got 2 left, you guys. Card 8. What do you need to release and let go of from the first half of the year? Okay, so what's not serving you from the first half of the year?
Well,
Roger?
I got judgment. I guess tell me not to be so judgy.
Did I say that?
Always.
Okay.
Well, yeah, I mean,
That's a karma card too,
it's a
though.
karma card, and and I think it is. It's releasing of the things that's maybe holding back, because of karma, things like that.
Okay.
Release that stuff.
Mine's pretty plain to me. I won't go into great detail, but for me, I need to release some negative talk in my mind that comes from some places from my past, and I need to release that. And that came up a lot in the first half of the year, and I need to just let those things go so that I can step in the fullness of the rest of the year.
So in terms of releasing, I got the Queen of Cups, which I don't know. I mean, maybe that's trying to tell me to maybe focus more on myself and not maybe focus on others as much.
Yeah.
So releasing that that need to want to help others, and not that I should really let that go, but maybe spend a little bit more time focused on myself rather than the problems of others.
Yep.
Right. That's good. And so the last one, I hope you guys have enjoyed this. The last card is if you do the work, number 9 position, if you do the work, what will you harvest at the end of the season? Okay. So what will you, if you do, you know, the work or whatever, you put what you need to into it, what are you going to bear fruit of or harvest at the end of the season?
I got 5 of Pentacles. And with that, I would say it's probably being able to have opening up more and having other people come in and help with more things.
Okay, I got the death card, and for me, that means that I'm going to be releasing a lot of things, like I said before, that just, I've been hanging on to them that I need to let go of. So if I do the work, what am I going to harvest? Death. But what I'm going to harvest is ripping up some of the stuff that, I don't know a good farm analogy here, but I'm just,
Plowing through it.
getting,
Plowing through it.
just plowing through it and getting rid of some of the stuff that is wasting my time,
Yep.
frankly. And it's not enjoyable to me anymore.
Well, I don't know of a more appropriate card to end on. I got the Sun here.
Oh, perfect.
So I don't know. To me, that would mean what am I going to get out of it? I'm going to perhaps it's a little bit of personal recognition, perhaps a little bit of some recognition of my efforts that I've put in. Like I don't know. That seems like a pretty good one to end on.
Yeah.
It's perfect
to
to end
me.
on. Yeah, it's perfect to exactly Summer Solstice, the sun. And great job of reading those cards, Matt. I didn't know I was giving you. Where'd you get them, Roger?
We got them at StarCon.
Okay.
They're very
I got 'em
cool.
from
Like
the-
I like I mean just to show some of these the art on them is very simple, but like I don't know, very
Yeah.
effective. I think.
Yeah.
I got a deck for you and one for me.
Okay. Nice. Yeah, it was at home, and I grabbed it because I thought how perfect. And then Matt pulled the perfect card to end on.
Yep.
too,
there you go.
Exactly. Yeah.
So if you guys want that spread, I will give credit for that spread. It comes from, it's called the Seasonal Soup. And so you can either look that up or there's a bunch of spreads. You can make up your own spread, but just Google Summer Solstice and you will find spreads all over the place. Simple ones, long ones, short ones. But I thought this one was good. It kind of does an
Yeah.
assessment of
Yeah.
where you are and where you're going, right? And so, so that's really good. And I would say for the biggest thing that we might want to get out of this is to take the time to enjoy yourself. Take the time to dance, to sing, to twirl around, to to use the fire element. The fire element is about action. The fire element is about things going quickly. It will, it gets things moving really quickly,
Yeah.
right, Roger? You
Yep.
want to add to that?
Yep. It is. It's all about that fire, like fire down in your soul is moving things and getting things going and, and not giving up and just keep fanning the fire and just keep going and going and going.
And it's not like you're thinking about it, like the air cards or the air element. It's not like you're pondering it.
It's all
This is a
action.
time for action. And it doesn't mean busy bee action that's wasting your time. It means deciding what's important to you and putting your efforts into that. So with that, I would say, let's tell them a little bit about signing up for anything we have coming up. We have a drum circle.
We have a drum circle. The easiest way too, guys, to find these things is on our Facebook group, which is Soultopia on the Facebook groups. And check it out. Yes, we have Andre Jones. He's come back, going to do another drum circle. It's a little hot. We may not be doing that one outside. So
He
we'll
probably
do
will if he
we
can.
might. Who knows? We might get lucky and have a cool afternoon and be able to, do it outside. But that'll be a lot of fun. And but that's the biggest thing we have coming up. Plus, first Sunday, it's a couple of weeks away, but still first Sunday is our psychic fair. So, that'll be good. Our first and third Sunday is always a psychic fair. And it's inside.
Yeah.
That's definitely inside. But we got a lot of people, we have some new readers, some people that do the astrology, things like that too, that are going to be available. I'm not sure which ones are reading it, so you'll just have to check.
Check it.
But it'd be
Check
a
our
lot of fun.
newsletter too. Keeping up with the newsletter. We're going to start putting more and more information in that too. And also, if you would, we had a book launch at Frisco for my book. Thank you for those who came. We'll probably have some other activities, some online things too. But Spirits Unveiled is out now, and I'm getting pretty good feedback from that. If you want to check that out at Soultopia or Amazon or Llewellyn or Walmart, Target, Books A Million, Barnes & Noble, you can get it. Working on my third book, I got a little bit of an extension because that was one of the things where I just said I'm just worn out. So I'm able to maybe promote this one a little bit more and enjoy myself. My first book did win. It came in third, which I was happy. Won bronze, and then Roger won. We won 6 awards for cover, and we're very grateful for all of you who voted.
Thank you, guys.
So we had People's Choice Award for Best Jewelry, and we should get that trophy in here, Roger. And so it was really, really fun, and we enjoyed meeting everybody and seeing everyone again live at INATS. And so if you will get that book and also leave a review, if you don't mind, on Amazon, that would be great. And it seems like there was one other thing that I wanted to tell you guys about, but I can't remember. Oh, we're going to D.C.
Yep. We're doing a book
for me
signing
to
there.
do book signings for this book. I think for this book, for Spirits Unveiled. So we're going, and I'll be doing that in D.C. on Saturday. So I look forward to that. But thank you all for all the support for the books. It takes a lot of effort to write them. I will never insult. Well, I won't say we'll never insult an author again, but it takes a lot of work. People have no idea. So I'm appreciative to all of you. And other than that, just look for all the things. I'd say go sign up for our newsletter, and when you come into the store, there's also a list of all the activities that are going on.
Definitely.
But other than that, thank you, and have a great week, and we will see you
Next week.
We will see you next week.
Yep.
Thanks, Matt.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks for listening to SoulWhat, a Soultopia production. If you're intrigued, searching, or looking to schedule a reading of your very own, visit us in sunny Dallas, Texas, or visit us online at facebook.com/Soultopia Holistic Boutique. And if you like what you heard, subscribe, rate, and review on your favorite podcasting platform to be the first to hear new episodes every Tuesday at 7:30 Central.